good, guys? We're about to go to Abu Simbel Temple, home of Ramses the Great and his wife Nefertari. So excited to see this.
Herself. He built her temple here. She's the only queen ever in Egypt. She had her own temple built by her husband or by the king. Other queen like Hatshepsut, she was the king. She was the pharaoh of Egypt. She had the power to build her own temple. But here showing us how much he loved her. Beautiful temple from inside. And there is a poetry out over the entrance by Ramesses. She's the one that the sun rises for her. They loved her very much. But he married and many other wives. But he built her a temple here just for her memory. Forever she will be remembered and her name joined him. And her tomb in the Valley of the Queens is maybe the most beautiful tombs in the world. Looks like been painted from 3 months ago. Right, very, very beautiful colors. Very beautiful. And the most expensive in Egypt. The tomb of Nefertari 10 years ago, just to open, it requires $2,000. For one guest or for the whole group. It will be open just for 1 hour. So you can pay that $2,000 for yourself, or we all share together the money to open the tomb just for 1 hour. Nowadays there's ticket per person, 1,500 pounds Egyptian per person. And it's the most expensive tomb or visit in all over Egypt. That's Nefertari. She's a very, very special woman. Nefertari, the word Nefer means good, pretty, and kind. So her name is really quite nice. Nefertari, the good or the kind or the pretty shown up or comes or appears. That's her name meaning. She's the most beautiful, the most kind, and the most good woman among them. Ramesses built his own temple here and opened the facade here, carved himself in 4 different large seated statues, presenting himself in 4 different ages. That's where you can find a bit difference in the face. 30 years old, the broken one is 40, 50, and last final one there is 60. He dies about 92 years old, by the way. 92, 95. The face is just, you see the changing is just in the face, the figure of the face itself. But his body is the same body of the young 30 years old. Like he forever will be 30. But his face changing, getting older, that means he gets wiser. By time we see things, we experience, we get wiser. That's how it works. That's why we get more experience. Because that's what happened here. I get smarter, I get wiser by time, but still have the power and the craft of the young health of a 30 years warrior. I will be forever 30 years. That's what all want. That age will understand that important. But he succeeded to make it here. All of them here. Of course, the building built it at the east, at the west side of the River Nile, facing the east. So every day, when the sun rises there, facing the temple. King Ramesses can build that temple anywhere else in the world, especially in Egypt, Luxor, or Memphis, or capitals there. But he chose the land there for 2 things. First, he wanted the 2 countries connected together by that great temple here. Second, here the location allows the king, or allows the sun itself rays 2 times a year. His birthday and the day he became the king, coronation day of the king, first rays of the sun goes through the entrance, through the whole entire body, 63 meters deep in the mountain. It's a carved temple, not built temple. Big difference. Building, like I said today, stones and you stand it. But this one here, you cut it from outside to inside. Whole entire body there. So that means you have a map or a design for it before you start cutting. And the location. The axe of the temple allows the sun rays to go through it there to light the face of the king in these 2 days. 21st of February and 21st of October. First day and coronation day. Imagine, guys, from now on, the next million years, God comes to you telling you happy birthday. Every year. Or the day you became the queen or the king of Egypt, congratulations, my daughter or my son, you became the king of Egypt. Every year at the same time for next millions of years. That's the purpose of the temple. I joined by Ra, by God himself. Forever, the God will separate me with me. That's the purpose of the temple. In the middle of Nova. So he came here. It's all entire land under his own control, but choose the place location here. In the middle of Nubian land. That's the right location for that action. God comes to me every year, my birthday, and telling me happy birthday. All the way inside. When you get there inside, you guys can see beautiful colors. Very well preserved. It's the last temple discovered in Egypt. 1817, 200 years ago. Many temples known from long time ago. And that's why you can find damages and chisels, because the local use it at the market. The building was covered totally by sand. And that's why even the entrance was covered. That's why no one entered the temple close to like 2,000 years. Close to that time. That's what kept the colors there inside, because the sand covered it, away from people, away from water. That's why keep the colors and the building there inside very well and tight. Once you enter, before you enter inside, you can find the line of baboons. Baboons for the Egyptians, they saw that these animals or monkeys always greeting the sun every day or every morning. When the sun rises, the baboons, they dance, they jump, kind of like they are happy for the rising of the sun. They greeting the sun, Amun-Ra himself rising. That's why these baboons here were his own greeting. Every day, greeting him. Every day, the God will be greeted here. Over the entrance, you find the God called Ra-Hur-Akhti, mix of God Amun-Ra and Horus. Most of Nubians worship Horus. We're so really close to them, and they call them Mandulis. When Ramesses came here, he decided to build a temple dedicated for a God called Ra-Hur-Akhti. Ra is Amun-Ra, Hur is Horus, Akhti means the horizon. Both of them joined at the horizon. Ramesses' name, the right pronounce of Ramesses is Ra-Meses or Ra-Mesu. Ra, Amun-Ra, Mes or Meses or Mesu means delivered or birth. Like Moses. Should be Mu-Meses. Mu means water. Meses water. Son of water. That's the meaning of Moses. Tutmoses. Tut or Gohuti or Tuhut. Meses. Son of that Tuhut. You know the word Christmas? It's ancient Egyptian. Christ, Mass. Birth of the Christ. Even that word should be Egyptian word. So that's the meaning of Ra. Ramesses. Son of Ra himself. That's why he built the entire building for the memory of Ra. Once you enter inside, guys, that's why I have that album. So I'm going to join you inside. I'm going to prepare for you here. Just give me 15 minutes and you will get rid of me. Here, how we move the temple. We cut the building itself in big blocks, as you see. Number each one of them. Yes. This one been moved. This one been moved. The original 2 days was 21st of November and 21st of February and October. After we moved the temple to higher ground, we lost 1 day in each. It became 22nd and 22nd. So even by our new technology, we can make it like the ancient Egyptian. As you see, the dome, concrete dome all around the body. These stones are not original, they're artificial. You see around there, guys, artificial stone. The original one is just the body itself of the temple. And as you see it here, they build the dome and they cover it by stones. You see, artificial one to give you the impression that you're in the same location. The second statue, we believe it in broken around 27 or 26 AD. What makes some of the archaeologists believe that maybe that's the crucifixion year of Jesus the Christ. In this year, or that especially date, so many buildings broken and falling down in Egypt. And that's why many people say maybe so. The second one, and you can see the whole body. Missed. What left is the forehead. You see that one? And the crown, part of the crown. The face, shoulders, arms, not existing. You can see that, guys, how we cut it there. That's how it was before we move it. The small temple, Nefertari. See that? Many countries help us to move it. German company called Hochtief, Americans, English, French, Italian, many countries really help us to move the buildings to save the temple of Ramesses the Great. By the way, guys, if anyone wants that album, the big size one will cost you $10, the small one $5. the pictures for the film. But of course you can take pictures inside as much as you want, but I mean the black and white pictures like so.
When did you say they moved it?
1963. Since 1963 till 1969, while building the high dam, they moved all these temples and the people. In 6 years, they moved 21 different temples and the whole Nubian people. We are the Nubian land. And that's Nubian lake. That's the biggest man-made lake in the world. Its length 500 kilometers, 350 in Egypt and 150 in Sudan. The deepest point, 182 meter deep. Really big deep. And that's where the location you can find crocodiles. Wild land. Egyptians don't live here. No one allowed to live here because that's secured lake itself there. That's why you can find wild animals. Once you enter, guys, the temple inside, you find 2 lines of pillars, the right and the left, for the King Ramesses standing like a mummy. Big, large statue to the roof itself there. You can see that. Standing like a mummy himself. You have a power of resurrection. You have a power of Osiris himself. That's why he's standing there. Side, he crowned himself the double crown. Other side, upper Egypt crown. The white, the long white. You see that? Here, a very special inscription for the King Ramesses. Rides his chariot, followed by his army. First one entered the battlefield, as I told you before, guys. That's Ramesses will make himself. Ramesses likes himself very, very much. That's why I always. That's Ramesses. All Ramesses, by the way. Ramesses here, if you notice, you find that he got 2 arms and 2 arrows. 2 arms and 2 arrows. Many archaeologists trying to find a way that's why they got 2 arms and 2 arrows for the King Ramesses the Great. But doesn't mean never found in any other temple or other scene. How come that the king got 2 arrows and 2 arrows? People say that he ride in a chariot. The ground of the chariot made out of leathers or bandages of leather. So while the king is standing, shooting and aiming, is kind of like a moving. But never found in any other temple. Never found it really. The other scene, other opinion, maybe that presented the speed of the king, that he's so fast, so really good, too good. That no one noticed his own movement. Still wrong. Never found. I think it's a defeat. It's a mistake. First arm or first arrow will hit the horse head. How come the king will kill his own horse? So there it's a defeat, a mistake from the man who carved it or scripted it. That's why. Do you want to fix it? Rising the arm and the arrow. Covering the first one by plaster. Looks like normal. After 2,000 years, the plaster dry or cold, and we find the 2 arms. And I'll show you another scene in the temple of Al-Aqsa. Inside the Hall of the Holies, the king is standing, looks like he got 2 buttons and knees. That means the Egyptian made mistakes. But if the king figure out, he will, he will kill you. That's showing you guys how that happened. In Luxor temple, even we find side of the building, we call it the training wall. You are artist, you are really clever, have skills, and you want to work for the king in a royal studio or work in a temple. What you're gonna do? Testing you first. Script me, description for the god, for the king, standing, sitting, looking to the right, looking to the left, different sizes. Show me your skills, how to do it. Otherwise, you're carving on stone. One mistake will cost a lot. You can't turn the body down because after they build the building, they start scripted. Understand me? You don't get the stones from the quarry scripted. You stand the building first, polishing the survey and do the description. So really very hard. If you make one mistake, it will cost you. So here you can see Ramesses shooting or aiming. Here Ramesses capturing 2 guys, catch them. They are Libyans, not Egyptian. They look like Egyptian, dress like Egyptian, but they are spies. King Ramesses here wants to show the people that I'm your shepherd. I know my people. Even you look like Egyptian, but I know that you look like Egyptian. The people will feel safe. King himself knows us personally. So he can save us from outside enemies or inside enemies. That's why the king here capturing these 2 spies by himself, killing them. Here, when he marched the army, the king, in front of him his generals, here the prisoners, or the captives, or the slaves with him from other countries. Not really Jewish, you can find Jewish lived in Israel. Yes, they lived here in Egypt, but the Bible says there was slaves. Some interpret it the opposite. The opposite. Kind of like the other proof that maybe the Jewish was here, slaves during the foreign kings. Remember, guys told you that we were captured 400 years or in vain by the Hittites for 400 years. The Bible said that Jews came and lived in Egypt for 400 years. So maybe they were here during when the kings who ruled Egypt, they are not Egyptian kings. So the Bible story was telling you that there were slaves in Egypt, yeah, but not for the Egyptians. The Egyptians themselves was slaves in their country, like Jewish. So maybe the story was telling us there, the king of Egypt in that time, the one who's hating them, following them, trying to, the Exodus, he is not Egyptian. He is a foreign king. No, I don't think you called them up. No one knows when exactly. It's just because of no one exactly when the Jewish was here in Egypt. When exactly, which king, which period, which age, no one knows. We have details. The story of the Jewish who were in Egypt give us a lot of information about the Egyptian society. Lots of information. Definitely they were here. But when exactly, how we can do that? We look all over Egypt for evidence. Imagine guys who came and lived in Egypt for 400 years. At least we live like one paper. A proof. Never found in all over Egypt. Might because they was living around the delta. With that land covered and submerged by, covered by the mud for the last 3,000 every year. It should be covered like so. So maybe there's evidence but still deep there inside. Or deep in ground there. Every time you're digging or going down, there's underground water. All materials we found re-damaged. That's how it works. Here it's very dry. That's why the building's preserved. But in the delta, Memphis totally covered by mud, unfortunately. So you can prove where they lived, how long they lived, how they lived in Egypt here. Ramesses, that's the panorama view showing us the war and the battle between the Egyptian army and the Syrian army. The war of Kadesh. In that war, the funny thing happened with Ramesses. He was marching the army towards Syria. On the way, he found two locals. He asked them, where is the king? They lied and told him that the king escaped or ran away when he heard that you coming here, your majesty. Where he is, just behind that height. So Ramesses lifted all his army, took his private unit with him, following the king. He's very brave, fear nothing. He found himself an ambush, surrounded by 5,000 men.
Oh.
His private unit left him there and ran away. So he found himself among that people. What he did, he took his sword, his shield, and killed them all. Rambo, Miss Ramesses. We believe it's kind of like propaganda. He just want to make a legend for himself. No one can kill that much people in one life. Ramesses, maybe he just want to make his own propaganda. First written peace treaty in history is between Ramesses and the king of Syrians. That means one thing. He almost lost the war. Not say that he lost the war, he almost lost the war. That's why he accepted the peace treaty. Otherwise, if he destroyed, he's not going to accept it. Or like, there would not be even a treaty. So here Ramesses, as the absolute king, in front of him his generals, and the army get engaged. How you can tell who's Egyptian, who's not Egyptian? From the shield. The top circle shield, they are the Egyptians. The straight, like rectangle one, they are the Syrians. The top circle shields, they are Egyptians. You got it? Most of the Egyptian wheels also you'll find two. Syrians 3, and the Ramesses defeated them. And the numbers of the Syrians above numbers of Egyptian, and Egyptian defeated them.
Going on, guys, we're at the famous Abu Simbel temple, home of Ramses the Great and his wife Nefertari. As you can see, the various scribes on the various monuments, incredible to see, fine detail You will never find anything like this in any place in the world. We're 70 kilometers away from Sudan, which is just east of the man-made dam outside of Abu Simbel Temple. And yeah, I'm gonna take you guys through the home of Ramses the Great, and also he built a temple for his wife Nefertari because he loved her so much. He wanted to honor her with a temple of her own. Even the great Hatshepsut didn't have a temple of her own. She's the only female goddess with her own temple built by her king. So I'm gonna show you guys what's up. Stay tuned.
That's what it looks like. And here, I forget this symbol. Huh? Oh! I don't like that side. I keep forgetting that side. Oh, that's better.
God.
Daily. Yeah. And then they was renting their technical class before they came to me. So when we took them at Holocaust, we should be included in that as well.
This is Queen Nefertari and her temple. The cow is representing the mother of milk, nutrition. That's why they have cow ears. Oh, Salah. Oh, Salah. This is the Nubian Museum in Aswan. We are at the Nubian Museum in Aswan.
Sometimes gets really angry, sometimes being really nice. These feelings, the positive and negative feelings, comes out of the same body. The whole body is representing the man body. And your soul itself is changed. So both of them inside your body, kind of the same thing. So when we get here, you have a free will to choose which one you follow, Horus or Sobek, positive or negative. Sometimes you need to get that negative out and the positive out in order to keep survive. Harmony, you guys, remember? It's not just kind of like being beside the good, beside the bad. Being in balance. Own life in balance. Ups and downs. So not really good or really bad. That's what makes the change, what makes it all moving. Egyptian noticed that from the beginning. The good thing is that temple, most of it was covered by sand. Unfortunately, the body broken, falling down through time. The temple is so close to the bank of River Nile. So the foundations were really very, very bad. 10 years ago, by helping of the American University in Chicago, we built an underground tunnel, tube here system to get the water away, to keep the land dry. But most of the building is covered with mud. Check behind the temple. You see the sand. That's the original concrete wall of the temple. The original concrete wall. These rocks close to 2,000 years ago. Most of all Egyptian buildings, the building itself is surrounded by big arch, big wall. That keeps the building tight, dry, even if the water rise, it will never leak. These walls wide out.
Ugh, fuck off, man. Fucking flies all over me. going on, people? Right now we're at the temple of Ombo. Ombo, home to King Tut or Hoti, various names. Another temple that is, you know, similar in design, I guess, in terms of the pillars to what we saw at Abu Simbel, but definitely different in terms of time, in history, etc., as you heard from the tour guide. So I'm about to go in, see the various scriptures, hieroglyphics, and, you know, just take in the history, the chematology of Ombo. So yeah, tune in.
So the people, when we enter the temple, was like offering table here. The people, when they are entering the temple, all of them, some of them, they have to give them like a stone, like this. So they can want to help.
The temples like so here helps the people to get their own feelings and imaginations out. And that's what happened in these buildings here. So you have an experience here no one else experienced. Because you are in existence of the gods. So that kind of these buildings were not for the people. Healing temple like a hospital. Pregnant women, delivered babies here. Mummifying bodies. It's a process happening for all mankind in Egypt. Where we mummify bodies, we take them above the building. God of mummification, his name is God Anubis. You know Anubis? Anubis, God of mummification. He is the one who works in tent. A tent where you're mummifying the body, covering the body by salt. The stink smell will be very strong. If you do that inside the building, see how wide are these walls, the stink smell will be there forever. What you're doing, you take the body above the building, and the air or the wind will blow the smell away. That's why Anubis is the one who works in the tent, the bulb, or the piece of burning the body. All good? Take a picture of me.
What's going on, people? We're now at the Crocodile Museum, right next to Ombo. So it's just a preservation of various crocodiles, obviously fossilized and preserved for us to see. So yeah, we're at the Crocodile Museum, right next to Ombo. So I'm gonna show you some videos and some snaps of some crocodiles that obviously came from the Nile that have been preserved for people to see. So tune in, tap in.